is instead of having this owner spend hundreds of dollars a month on off-site lease parking that nobody really cares about, to instead do a bike rack where they will install, take financial responsibility for the installation, financial responsibility for the maintenance of this bike rack, and quite frankly, that is the highest and best service that you can provide to this community in this particular location on this particular site. I would ask only that if you agree with that, then to condition your specific plan exception in this regard only for this site. Because every site is different. Not every site would qualify, as I believe this one does, based on the evidence that we're presenting to you. So, the City of LA, in final, I think the findings can be that the City of Los Angeles has made major investments to create a future where cars are offset by bikes and mass transit. Supporting Great White's request for an SPE to install bike racks rather than off-site parking allows the private sector to assist the city in achieving this goal. This is a best practices. I'm asking for your consideration, not because we won't park it, but because it is what is the best for this community in this location. Forward thinking is where we're going in terms of the City of LA. And I thank you for your time. We're happy to answer any questions later. By the way, if you do decide that you're going to have automotive parking that you require, then what we need to do is amend what we have here so that we can do a lease in lieu of a covenant. Okay.
Got it. Very good. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. We'll give you 3 minutes on rebuttal there to discuss anything that comes up here in public comment. All right, I've got public comment items for the proposal. We're going to stick to 1 minute a pop. We've got quite a few of these, and time is short. I think everybody can say what they need to say in a minute. Let's go with Andrew Lease, then we'll go Jason Gustafson. I know Jack was here earlier, but I think he had to leave. Jason had to leave. Okay, so we've got Jason in favor of what the applicant is seeking. We've got Jack, who was in favor for the proposal. So we've got Andrew. Is Chris Cunningham still here?
Yes.
Chris Cunningham had to leave as well. He was in favor of what's being sought in terms of the variance. Raymond Castillo? Okay, Raymond, you'll be second. And George Francisco, you'll be third. Okay.
We should be missing one in favor of Stephen Lake.
Oh, I'm sure I'll get to you in a second. I've just got enough. I'm just going 3 at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Yeah.
Thank you, Commissioners. Andrew Lease is my name. I'm likely to echo many of the sentiments just shared now, but as I understand, or as it's now understood by everybody, that the city supports the project, but this is really just a matter of parking. And so I'm actually personally less concerned about where I'm going to park my car and rather where I'm going to park my bike, because I don't actually own a car. And so, Venice itself is a really unique coastal town and community, unlike anything else in LA, and that's why I choose to live there, on the basis that everybody, in fact, all the local community, and I used to live further past Lincoln, and even when I did, I would still walk or ride to the beach and to access all of the local amenity available to the community that way, through restaurants, activities, and so on. In the evening, that immediate car park. Thanks.
Just finish the sentence.
Yeah, cool. So in the evening, that car park does become a place where people openly, brazenly loiter and consume illicit drugs, and so by having a place which has outdoor seating and is open to trade at night, would literally shine a light on that space, and I believe enable it to become, put the car park to appropriate and intended use.
Thank you. Sorry to rush you there. We're a little tight on time tonight, so if everybody can keep to that minute, it'd be great. Raymond Castillo, George Francisco, and then Matthias Bungie, I think.
Yeah.
Well, Commissioner, my name is Raymond Castillo. I'm an employee at Great White. I've been there since the start. I've seen an area get cleaned up. I remember when it first opened, there was so many bums, so many homeless guys, so many trunks all over. We cleaned it up. I mean, I personally ride my bike to work, just like most of my customers, like most of my coworkers. and a lot of the customers that come into Great White. Let's say,
Okay.
yeah, and I hear customers always say, like, Venice, that Great White is one of the places that Venice was missing, and yeah.
We hear you loud and clear. Thank you. Okay. George Francisco, Matthias Bunge, and then Stephen Lake, and we'll finish with Marcia Dubbo.
Hi, George Francisco. I'd like to speak to you today, not in any official capacity, but as a neighbor. I live around the corner from this location, and I watched it go through a metamorphosis. The prior operators, wonderful couple, were driven out of business because their outdoor seating was overrun by a criminal element. This is a difficult area. It's the historic heart of Venice, and it should thrive. And it is still an incredibly pedestrian-dense area. So anything we can do to get people out of cars and to maximize what the applicants have created here, which is an incredibly pedestrian-friendly and active environment that's created not only a safer environment, but also has a very affordable menu, which is rare in Venice because we've become a dining location destination. So good food that's affordable should be supported, and I hope you support their application in full.
Thank you.
Hello, good evening. I'm Matthias Bunge, and I guess just here to echo what everyone else has been saying. And I guess I would also gander to say that I would imagine that most people that are actually driving around this area are not driving there to go eat at Great White or the other restaurants, but rather to go work in that area. I work across the street, so my times that I go to these places, I'm usually just walking. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Stephen Lake and Marcia Douglas.
Hi, good evening. Stephen Lake, Venice resident for 30 years now, so a long time. I'm a photographer, and I spent a lot of time underneath that iconic sign all hours of the day. And what I've seen at night when I'm out there in the past, it's been pretty unsavory, especially in that parking lot. And since these guys have opened up, and they've created a very local place where everyone feels really welcome to come there on bike. In fact, tonight was actually one of the first times I got in my car in a while to come here. But I've noticed an increased sense of security and safeness. Knowing that they're there at night when I'm there with my camera, running around that old boulevard, just makes it much more comfortable. And you just know that when they activate that rest of the corner, and I do hope you guys let them do that with the variance, it will just be great for the community. Thank you.
Ms. Douglas.
Marcy Douglas. If I'd like to cede my time to the applicant, Sam True.
We don't cede time, but the applicant certainly, you can certainly come up and have a minute in public comment, and we'll note you on the record.
I'll be brief. If I could have 2 minutes, that would be great. Sam Trude, I'm the owner and a Venice homeowner and resident of nearly 10 years. We opened this business 2 years ago in what you've heard is a pretty rough area, right? And we put a lot of work and time and effort and energy into this, and it's become a real success, and we're thrilled with that. So with what we're proposing to do is expand that successful operations into what was a Subway restaurant. And there's not many examples where you see a local business trying a big national corporate chain, and I think that's a really positive thing. You know, we employ local staff, we're local in ourselves, we support our local community. But I think what's been missed here is when we designed this proposal, we intentionally decreased our internal service area, floor area, by the same amount that we were requesting for the outdoor patio. In essence, making a zero net increase in service area. And we did that so we wouldn't put any additional demand on the restaurant, and therefore no additional demand for parking. However, because of planning's position, and I understand where they're coming from, we have to provide parking because it's a new area, it's outside the property line. However, there's no net increase here in service area. It's the same as what was previously approved and existing. All we're doing is providing outdoor seating, which was the reason why we really succeeded in the first place, because we opened it up, we put eyes on the street, we allowed public surveillance, and it's why we've been successful. So I'd really like you guys to ideally consider the overall circumstances of this project, its location, its overwhelming public support, unanimous support from the VNC and the Council's office, including the exemption, which is rare. Everybody sees this rational parking exemption request on the basis that we're not increasing our overall service floor area. It's staying the same. We're just allowing people to sit outside. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Okay, I have got, Brian, I see you back there. I have you just under a general comment because there was no box checked. Are you for the proposal? And would you? Okay, so come on up right now. I'll put you in the other pile. I will note I've got Wayne from Encino again here as a general comment. I don't see him here. We'll note that he had a general comment on some issue. All right, Brian, go ahead.
Commissioners, thank you very much. And I'm here in support of everything that they're trying to achieve on this matter. I really see the value. I live around the block from the restaurant. I walk there. I have a lot of clients that come and take them to lunch there. And that really is one of the only safest restaurants that are within that block. There's a lot of turmoil that's always happening. I'm on the LAPD advisory board as well. I filmed the criminal activity that's happened. There was a knife fight just out in the middle of the intersection. What I'm saying is this restaurant is completely activated the ability to kind of bring in a great group of people that enjoy that area, that can be outside. It's the safest because it's not on the boardwalk at night and it's not down at the end where a lot of the criminal stuff has happened. I think the parking requirement kind of baffles me. I'm in the real estate world. We probably freed up 1,000 parking spaces from Snapchat, and with the road diet that the council office has tried to do, and now we're reinforcing parking. So I just am 100% in favor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, I've got 3 folks against. I've got Judith.